Ladies and gentlemen, now today I wanted to talk about the update to the Titan Crystal that's going to be coming in just over 48 hours and share my view in a tier list format. We got a classic tier list maker here, and I wanted to start a bit of discussion in the comment section. What do you believe? Just, go down there now. Who am I overrating and who am I underrating? And I think it's also a little bit difficult to do something like this because a lot of these characters, being Titans, being brand new featured characters, they are very fresh. So there's a good chance there's characters that we are overrating, and there's a good chance that there are characters that we're sleeping on a little bit. There are certain caveats I have that we're going to discuss as we go through these characters, but I think there are some firm SS god tier characters that really deserve to be up there because they've been putting in so much work. Okoye is just, I think, like champion of the year on offense, man. Whenever I see one in Battlegrounds, I know I'm getting cooked. I need to ban it or it's going to get whatever I have on defense down in 30, 40 seconds. Phenomenal character, can do so many different matchups. And then we got Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman is just absolutely terrifying. Like one of the best science characters. There's so much utility for various matchups. I really enjoyed Trappy's showcase on Spider-Woman if you're looking to find out a little bit more, but I don't have this character just yet. For Bastion, I've been watching MCOC Encyclopedia. I've also tested this character a bit on the content creator beta, and it's just like a banger of a tech champion. So much fun to play, really good damaging loop, like very simple, lots of utility for various scenarios. He just is like almost everything you want to have a tech champion. So yeah, Bastion I think very much deserves to be up there. Jean Grey is such a favorite of mine at the moment. The more I play this character, the more I absolutely love her. She's got such kind of a great toolkit and utility that is all based around like dumping massive specials. There's a certain matchup in the Crucible, like the Valkyrie matchup, and the first time I did that in testing, I was using Hulkling. And then on the final run, we just used Jean Grey and we just smashed that fight in like under a minute, dude. It was like such a painful fight to do with Hulkling. But yeah, she is just proving so useful. Wheel of Fate, Path 1 Thanos, she was incredible for. Love her in Battlegrounds just for all sorts of different matchups as well. Because the Special 2 just absolutely deletes people. So yeah, I absolutely love Jean Grey. She's fantastic. And then we have Nico. Nico is just the Mystic Champion. There's been all like these clown mechanics on like Dark Phoenix, Serpent, these new cosmic defenders that are coming out. And Nico just completely denies that. She is just this like mystic character that is packed with so much utility and control for annoying cosmic matchups. So yeah, she's just like, if you're so sick and tired of really annoying cosmic defenders, Nico is just going to absolutely roll them. And she's so easy to play. She's got like a really good safety net as well of her invisibility. So yeah, this character is phenomenal. I know Vega's been doing some videos if you want to check those out. And Carolina is one that I haven't seen really anybody wail out for because brand new champion and they're very, very expensive at the start if you want to go. And I know a lot of people went deep for Nico, but I think Carolina is so good. I was actually testing her this morning as a rank 4 on the content creator beta. Because when I played this character initially, she just screamed like top 3 cosmic champion if you can get used to her playstyle. And I think her playstyle might be a bit jarring for the first few matches, but the more I play her, the more comfortable I become. She is just so incredibly good. Like the power gain and access to this like very long passive stun that you can fire off any time is just stupid for so many matches. And there's a lot of things, even outside of the tech class, that she's really good for, just because all of the damage is kind of loaded into the special attacks. So Carolina, I think, she could be potentially S or SS. It's a really like new, fresh, untested character. But for me, she's actually my most wanted pull on this crystal. I love a good cosmic. I love characters with a lot of power gain because you can just do all sorts of crazy stuff and get very big comebacks. But yeah, some people I think are really gonna absolutely love this character, and maybe due to the positioning, some people really won't like this character as well. So it's up to you to decide if you're in the Carolina fan club. But I certainly am. I really do like her. And then in the S, so first up we got Galen. Galen is just one of those characters, you've got so much burst off the harvest. If he's a character you want to take up to rank 3, rank 4, he still deals with like a lot of the really annoying tech characters like Penny Parker. I actually like to run Penny Parker on Battlegrounds defense just to try and catch opponents out, because she's still really good if you can trap somebody. But yeah, Galen is just absolutely ridiculous for that matchup if awakened. And yeah, his burst like comes in clutch in a lot of different scenarios. The Maker, now I've seen some videos and showcases on the Maker. People have been taking this character up to like 7-star rank 4, taking it into high tier Battlegrounds, high tier Alliance War. And the thing is, at the moment, the Saga boost is so generous on the Maker, because you have like the 10% attack, and you also have in Battlegrounds, there's like 2,500 crit damage. So when I first played Maker, just on the content creator beta, my criticism of the champion is like, he is really frustrating to play if you've got to punch up. Or kind of into a bad matchup, because if you don't get the opponent down within like a decent special 2 cycle, then yeah, he's like really sluggish at the end. I think this particular Battlegrounds meta, he's been amazing for, just because we've had a lot of things that punish, you know, traditional stuns and parry. But yeah, I'm kind of like, what is it, the Dokes meme at the moment. I'm like, I think Maker, you know, he could be there, he could be up there, maybe down here as well. Like, but also he's such a weird character that I'm curious to see more gameplay after the Fantastic Four saga has ended, and he, you know, loses that 10% additional attack, because I think that 10% additional attack actually has given him a lot of reach to finish these matches, and the crit damage is amping up the plasma mine so much, at least in the what is it, the last month's meta there. So yeah, I'm curious to see the Maker live on, but I do want to give him a try, because I have seen some relatively impressive matches, and also the diversity of things that he can tackle. I think he is just a character, from what I've seen and experienced myself, that you're either like all in on Maker, or like don't bother playing this character at all. You've got to learn how to play him. You've got to, you know, invest all of the resources in him, get the right relic in as well, just to give him every single ounce of damage you can to make sure he can finish fights in that, you know, special 1, special 2, detonating plasma mines loop. And then we got Dazzler. Dazzler, I get just occasionally finessed, pretty much once a week, by just somebody playing Dazzler so incredibly well in Battlegrounds. I've just got to respect the character. You know, she's always one that I see occasionally coming up as like a rank 3, rank 4 on the opposition. And if people know how to play her very well, like the special burst damage is absolutely insane. So yeah, Dazzler's a big threat. I think she's pretty proven. Trappy has an incredible showcase from the end of last year. And then we have 2 defenders. We got Yelena and Zola. And these are all about, you know, trapping the opponent in kind of a bad matchup. And if you do, then yeah, they're going to have a very bad time versus these defenders. But they're kind of more defenders than they are attackers. However, in certain metas, like the kind of Intercept Fury one now, I've been pleasantly surprised by sometimes getting a really good match with Yelena and just, you know, dominating my opponent quicker. I got like a photon down in like 30 seconds the other day, and it was it felt pretty good. So sometimes, you know, she can do something on attack, but primarily she's a bit more of a defender. And then we've got the A tier characters. I think there's a lot of new ones, and I was kind of debating on Cassandra Nova whether she belongs a bit more in S, because she's so fresh, she's so new. I haven't really had a chance to properly take this character out for a spin and learn her rotation. So I was watching the video of Nick136, and to me, just my impression after that video was she seems good, she seems viable. If you want to fully invest in her, take her up to rank 4, because you really like the character and you really like her playstyle. It seems like she can do a lot of matches, especially in the skill class. But, you know, I didn't see the thing that made me go, oh wow, she's on the level of Jean Grey or better. Again, that might not be the case over time. Maybe she's like an absolute sleeper, but initially my impression wasn't super strong of the character, so I'm going to say conservatively A there. Then we have Green Falcon. So with Falcon, I've watched Cat Murdoch does a lot of gameplay videos. I watched the initial debut review by Trappy, and Falcon really seems to be pretty insane for a lot of Mystic matchups. He's really good for, I think, Sasquatch, Enchantress, And I think his range kind of extends a little bit out of Battlegrounds into certain things like higher tiers of Alliance War for certain really big Mystic defenders. So I think depending on like how much you like Falcon, he also could be up here. Like he's a character I don't have a lot of experience with, but I've heard his utility could be a little bit more. And also outside of the Mystic class, he struggles to deal with certain matches. So that's why I've got Falcon there, but that's one I've kind of got a little bit of an eye on there. I think Zemo's a great pull. If I was Karate Mike, I'd probably have Zemo here. I think, you know, Zemo especially, if you do like the full team of Zemos, getting like a 7-star Zemo for the synergy is pretty good. I also love Zemo for the Bahamut boss when it comes to, what is it, Act 8 as well. I think Zemo, just generally speaking, is a little slower, a little bit behind, but in the right scenario, he's definitely up there. But the scenarios, I would say, are quite rare when it comes to Zemo being, you know, an absolutely insane character. Although, depending on the Battlegrounds meta, he can be really good on defense sometimes. If you're, like, shrugging off the debuffs, if you're triggering, yeah, what is it, his root passive, and you don't have an answer for that, that can really catch people out. So yeah, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on Zemo here. Maybe he should be a little bit higher, but this is such an insane lineup here, man, where we're like almost at the bottom of the pool, and it's like Zemo, and Zemo's phenomenal, man. He's really, really good. And then we got Gentle. I mainly see people using Gentle on Battlegrounds defense, but he serves as a good dual threat option as well. You know, he's good for those bullseye matchups. I actually don't know how he fares against Yelena, but I imagine fairly well there. But yeah, Gentle, I see a lot of people ranking up this character. A lot of people really like him, but I'm still not entirely sure. I don't have enough experience of the character, but I think, at least for me, he's a little bit below Jean Grey in terms of overall usability. But let me know. I may be like completely sleeping on Gentle. So yeah, I'm curious to hear the comments section on this one. And then we've got High Evolutionary. Just relatively unimpressed with the gameplay that I've seen so far. Really seems like a defender, but then also in terms of a defender, I think sometimes on the right node combination, if he stalls out the fight a little bit and if he gets his special too, then yeah, he can be a little bit annoying. But personally, I haven't had too much trouble with the High Evolutionary so far. So yeah, maybe he's here, maybe he's a little bit lower. Not entirely sure. He's just very, very fresh, very new, and I just haven't seen that much gameplay of him so far. So for the final two, Spider-Man, I think I've got a very limited understanding of how this character performs at a 7-star, and I never really got into him as a 6-star. There were always other characters that were shinier, had better damage, better utility that I wanted to rank, and to the best of my understanding, that is the main problem with this character, is there's just like so many really, really good Mystic champions that I think often they're just taken because they've got the perfect utility to shut down ex-opponent. But yeah, let me know if you've got some good comments to say about Spider-Man. Is there any hopium? Have you taken him up to rank 4, been using him for various things? Are there any like new matches that he does very, very well? And then finally we got Cyclops, and Cyclops is amazing for Black Widow Citalis. Like, he was so good for the Crucible, but this character is kind of a ramp-up mutant character that relies on a lot of special attacks and takes a while to get going. So I think Cyclops is just not really up there in like general modes of gameplay because he takes a little bit too long to deal the damage. But when it comes to like very specific fights that he has the chance to kind of build up his mega like special 2 into a couple of special 1s wombo combo, then he can deal some really good burst damage there. But just speaking from my own personal experience, again, I loved him for the Citalis boss. He was super helpful for that in Crucible. And if you do get a 7-star, that is the copium if you haven't already done that. But yeah, overall, I would much rather have Jean Grey than Cyclops because, you know, she's got a lot more relevant utility. And just a really, really nice damage rotation for a lot of matchups at the moment. But yeah, let me know anything we might be missing about Cyclops or potentially underrating. And if you are a big Cyclops enjoyer, please do, say anything good about the character or what you've been using him for in the comment section below. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for my opinion on the new Titan Crystal Champions. I think it's going to be a really good one. I wish you all the best of luck opening your crystals on Tuesday. I know we're going to be doing a crystal opening video, which I'm really, really looking forward to. We have so many things saved up. Like, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous here. Look at that. We've got 9. I think we're probably going to push that up to like 10 by the time, because I've still got a couple of low-hanging fruit pieces of content to do, and I also have 3 of the regular Titan Nexus crystals as well. So yeah, I'm really hoping we can get some of those top row characters, because there are just so many characters I need in my roster, man. You know, I have 1 out of 6 of the top row characters at the moment, and it's Jean Grey, and I absolutely love her. So I'm hoping to pick up the other 5 as well. That'd be pretty incredible if we could. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.